and get input on option 3, because it seems to be a favorite of the folks who voted online. And the people who gave input at the calendar meetings, because you could also vote at those calendar meetings if you went to those. I did 2 of them, one at Helena and one at Spanish Springs. So I didn't actually do a majority of those. Right now I'm having 42 of these kind of meetings. And they've been about this attended by parents, so and teachers. So not getting as much feedback as I would like to have. I added 2 things to the website today. I had my email address up there, but people weren't really emailing me, so I thought now it says to give input, and then my email address is there, and then there's also another email address on the calendar website, and that's for intersession input, and that goes straight to the chief of academics. So he, when he gets ready to make some decisions on what he's going to do about intersession, we'll talk a little bit more about that. You have an opportunity to provide some input so they can look at what people want for their kids. I'm having these meetings through December 8th, and then in January I'll take the time to compile all the information I'm taking after. The reason that your packet has 2 calendars is the first calendar is for you to write on, so that I can actually take the input back with me to my office. I enter it all on a spreadsheet, and it kind of, the things that are talked about at meetings that are the concerns seem to be what comes out on those. So it's kind of nice because then you have 5 or 6 people who are saying the same thing. Last night, the concern was about transportation for intersession, and so this is Bella. She's so there were quite a few voices then on that thing, which is kind of nice. But you're going to write on one. This way you can keep the other one. The color calendar online is so much better than this one, but they're $1.74 or something like that. A copy for color and 4 cents for non-color. So it's a monetary decision. If you go to the district's webpage, about halfway down there's a picture of 5 kids. They look like high school kids. Under that it says Parent University, and then Trustee Redistricting. Then there's a picture of the calendar, and it says 2013-2014 calendar input meeting. You click on that, and then the calendar website pops up. Okay? So if you haven't gone and looked at that yet, I would encourage you to do so, because the color calendar is so much better than the black one. So what I thought I'd do is I'd go through the calendar, and then as you have questions, ask them. And I kind of jump around a little bit when that happens. It makes for a better conversation. So please feel free to ask at any time that you have a question. And I would encourage you, as you're thinking about it, write it down on this calendar. You can put it on the back, you can put it on the front, you can circle the day, whatever you want. It all gets recorded. Okay? So, starting in July, there's no school. So school will be out the whole month of July. Teachers come back. Are there any teachers? Okay. So teachers come back August 1st and 2nd, and you'll notice that's 2 days later than you normally come back to school, because you normally come back 4 days before school starts, right? So those 2 days, I'll show you where those are further down in the calendar. Then you go to school all the month of August. You have Labor Day off. You go to the month of September. The first and second week of October, PSATs being the second week of October. The grading period, 9 weeks ending on the 4th. So conference week for elementary school is the 7th through the 11th. And then the 14th through the 18th is the first grade. Now, when we went out last time for the calendar, parents really liked that November break, but it was a long time for kids and teachers to go, because it's 14 weeks without a break. So that's why we kept it in October, and it seemed to be what was favored. Then we come back to school for 2 weeks, and they have the Nevada High School Proficiency Exam. November, if you look on the 5th and 27th, those are PD days. Next year is an even-numbered year. We'll be voting for president. We always have an election because our assembly is elected every 2 years, so there's always an important election every 2 years. So every even-number year, we have professional development for teachers, and the students have the day off so that we can make sure that they're safe from predators. So the 5th, on an even-number year, that first Tuesday would be a non-student day and a teacher work day. So that's one of the 2 days. And the second one...
Wait, Bryn?
Yes.
So you said November 2013.
2012. The even number year would be a teacher work day. So the 14, so let's say 14, it'll be the 6th.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So you're just telling us that
Yes.
next year we have an election
Right.
day, and
Yes.
on the 2013 we don't?
Yes, and then 2004 we'll have another election day. For this calendar, 2013, the teacher workday would be the 27th, because that's kind of a compromise between parents really wanting that extra day so that they can take their children and not have to take them out of school and have them miss. And most teachers seem to like it because a lot of kiddos miss that Wednesday before school. Because if you have family out of town and you have to travel out of town, you're going to take the kids out. So, on odd number of years, you'll be able to go out of town with your children without penalty. And then, continuing on for 3 weeks in December, when the 19th is the end of the grading period. If you have high school children, you'll know that currently they then go on break, come back, have 2 weeks of school, and have final exams in the last week of January. So now, one of the reasons we started 3 weeks earlier is that we get to finish the semester prior to going off track or on break for Christmas.
So high school finals would be the 17th, 18th, and 19th?
Yes.
So all three, elementary, middle, and high school?
Yes, unless the school's on multi-track, because multi-track, I'm working on the calendar, and I should have that finalized, because Double Diamond and Brown probably will still be multi-track. They're very at capacity. So unless something interesting
Well,
happens.
one question I have too, my kids
Yeah.
are at Brown.
Yeah.
But then you look at Pleasant Valley, and I just looked at the statistics, 420 below capacity. So why is Brown?
You know,
Probably a different committee.
they're going on rezoning right now, and here's the thing right now, there are people that want to go to Brown Pleasant Valley because of the perceived danger of the road.
Right.
2012, and this is opening up. I know somebody's working on it. There's
Yeah.
been a gal who's been at my committee. It's going to open.
Yeah.
So then there could be that opportunity for rezoning.
Yeah, because when I say a school is that under capacity and one's on multi-track, where I teach school, I'm on single-track training, my kids are multi-track, well, one's multi-track, and one's diploma. So it's ridiculous that there's schools that are that low capacity. Half acre too is, I think, like 250 low capacity. So if they just look at the type of county, you know, the Double Diamond and Brown, because it's hard for teachers, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. They're working on that. Right now they're doing the Spanish Springs area, and then it's attendance from here next, because there is an issue and they need to do it. One of the things I'm trying to do, and I always want to knock on wood, is get that multi-track so that green, red, and blue start the same day, and they're on the same schedule. Yellow would be different. So if you have children in middle and high school, you would be able to say, we need to be on red, blue, or green. Yes, so they'd be the same.
And P1 shall be
Already.
and it's just multi-track, single-track, right?
Yes. Yes, everybody.
So this is every 7 through 12 are all the same, that every middle school and every high school, including incline, are going to be on this schedule?
Incline will probably be on something different.
So they'll keep their
Mhm.
incline schedule?
Yeah, I don't think it'll be the same. Because I want to try to make it match the intersessions that we have, but keep some of the traditions that they have, start and stop with us, and have the intersessions the same, because it's really close right now. But I'm working on that one too. I haven't gotten that one approved.
But everything else in Washoe County, so with the exception
Yes.
of the elementary schools that are year-round,
Multi-track.
everyone will be on?
Multi-track, not year-round. Year-round's different, because
Oh.
single-track green is year-round. 4515 is year-round. Natchez is year-round. But they'll be on this calendar unless they're multi-track. And let me just say, since I've been student accounting, one of the things I do is count the kids on count days. So the multi-track schools, we started with 17. We went to 12 last year, and we had 5 this year. So they're really trying, even without rezoning, we got that accomplished, so they're really trying to, because it's hard on
So
families.
isn't it multi-track, if you're multi-track, you have to go back to single-track reading, or can they go switch?
No, they'll go to this. I'll rewrite the board
Well,
policy.
yeah, but currently, single-track reading.
Pardon me? They would go to single track, if they went next year, they'd go to single track green, and then 13, 14, they'd come to this, which is really close, because they start the same week. They just have one's on 12-week calendar instead of a 9-week calendar. But in order to accommodate high school, middle school, and before Christmas break, we went to the quarter system for everybody. And it just makes a little more sense. Couldn't have the high school and middle school in our current system on trimesters, and there's been a lot of talk about that with the standards, but we're not there yet. So I guess you could easily move to trimesters with this calendar. You would have Christmas break in the middle of, and that's a problem, yeah. And same thing with why did we start the first week of August instead of the last week of August and go later in June? Can't get done by Christmas break. And then any high school kid you talk to, they're so excited about this. Because then it's all over with. And then teachers get a day, they get the 20th, that's the second day, yeah, to get your grades done. Yeah.
And the fires, like
Yeah.
it's always August, for
Yeah.
all the fires, and then you go outside.
Yeah.
Coming back
Yeah.
and doing a
Yeah.
week and then doing finals doesn't make any sense. So
Yeah.
especially for kids,
Yeah.
it makes sense to start.
And that's part of the big point. We're probably one of the few school districts in the country that doesn't end our finals before. That's kind of, when you look at this, a lot of people are doing this calendar. The biggies. And some of them are, the interesting thing is there's spectacular successes and spectacular fails. And so all of us are working on this, we keep sending the fails to each other so that we know if you want to look for Indianapolis School District, if you want to see one of the best fails of all. Because I read it almost every day because I know that's not going to fail. So along that line of job. Julie and I have known each other for a long time, so I'll try to behave myself. Okay, so so you're on Christmas break, the 23rd through the 27th, and the 30th through the 3rd, and then the 6th through the 10th is that second intersession. And let me say here a little bit about intersession. That first intersession is a prime time. Any kid who you already know, it's the end of the first quarter, you already know if they're not doing well. It's a prime time to do some remediation. It's a prime time to do some acceleration as well. But boy, when you get to that June 6th through the 10th, if you're an advanced placement teacher and your teachers are in advanced placement, I can see them using that totally to accelerate the kids and get them ready for the second semester. If you're, let's see, a good friend of mine, her daughter, her junior year took 3 AP courses. Smart kid, always straight A's, but AP courses kind of kicked her rear end a little bit. And so she would have really benefited from this intersession because one of her AP classes fell behind and she could have worked along with other students and the teacher with people who needed that little boost during the intersession. So that would be awesome. We'll also be able to use it for remediation. The first one, we'd be able to use it for remediation for the high school proficiency exam because it's right after. We'd be able to use it for remediation. Anybody who maybe isn't doing well in the first semester in an English, math, science course, social studies, any course, they're not doing well. Some teachers talk to me about using it for supervised curriculum PE, some accelerated stuff there, so you could perhaps get maybe a semester of credit out of the way with maybe 2 of the intersessions. You have to be careful with the units because it takes up 60 hours to make a half a credit.
So at one point they talked about in between the winter break and second semester, kids who failed English 1 or Algebra 1 being able to do it almost like the first round of summer school.
Absolutely. The AB 233, and thanks for bringing that up, good for us. I've done too many of these, and you start to run together what you said and what you haven't. The AB 233 passed last session, and what that allowed for was anybody who had failed the previous year could take with 20 hours of remediation a mastery exam, and we have that capability. We just purchased a computer program that we can use online. It's called A+. A+ has the ability to give a mastery exam in any subject that we offer. So you can get academic credit, not a CBE credit, but an academic credit for
So
that.
you could make up, if you failed English 1, because this
You could
doesn't
make
give
it up
you
in
the
the
3 weeks.
semester.
Yeah, because you can't do it like a summer school the way it is right now, because that first week there'd be no school, and I would assume on the 24th and 25th. There'd be no summer school, or winter school, or whatever it's going to be called. So there wouldn't be a makeup of the English 1, Algebra 1, in a traditional summer school setting.
We're talking about that. That's kind of like one of the things that we're not really sure of right now. Sandy Foster is in charge of summer school, and she and I had a really long conversation because a lot of the schools last summer, we have so much available to us now that we can, we have A+, we had several CDI courses. I don't know who offers them. So schools could offer for free to kids to come into these classes, and I don't know how they made up the time for their